Hi students, today I'm going to show you a wonderful resource that will help you keep up with the course while you are on independent study. So, it's going to require an internet connection. So once you get connected to the internet, I need you to type in the following address. It's www.musictheory.net. Once you're on musictheory.net, it will bring up their main page. On their main page, they have lessons, an exercise tab, tools, products, and contacts tab. The tab that I'm going to need you all to start with is the lessons tab. Go ahead and click the lessons tab, which is the first one after the home button. So once you're in the lessons, it brings up all of the lessons that this resource has to offer. So each lesson, each section in the lesson is a different component of music theory. So since we're in the beginning stages of our music and or choir course, depending on which course you're in, we're going to start off with the basics. So under basics, I need you all to click on the first lesson, which is going to go over the staff, clefs, and ledger lines. Okay, so you're going to learn about the staff, treble clef, bass clef, ledger lines, and the grand staff. Now if you're in my choir course, please note that we are only going to be singing in two-part harmony, so you do not need to go to the tabs under the basics for the bass clef. Okay, so we're only going to be dealing with treble clef in choir. So let's go ahead and click on the first lesson, which is the staff, clefs, and ledger lines. Okay, so here is our first look at music. Okay, so right now we have these 5 lines. These 5 lines are what we call the staff in music. The staff, as it says here, is the foundation upon which notes are drawn. So in music, it's these 5 lines that we have, those little circles, as you all have been calling them, which are our music notes. And then those music notes go on these 5 lines. Okay, so the next tab or bullet point is the modern staff. Now, once you're on this website, you can either use your up and down arrows, or you can actually physically click on the different bullet points. Alright, so the next bullet point is introducing the modern staff. The modern staff is made up of 5 lines and 4 spaces. Now, please note, the staff, since there's 5 lines, you want to count from the bottom up. I know that's a little weird, but always please count from the bottom. So the very first line is the bottom line. Okay, so this is line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, line 5. And in between those 5 lines, we have 4 spaces. Just like we counted with the lines, you start from the bottom with the spaces. So here's space 1, space 2, space 3, and space 4. Now, these lines and spaces represent a white key on a keyboard or a piano. And if you are playing another instrument, which we will be playing if you are in my music class, we'll be playing the recorder, it's the same thing. Our notes for the recorder are on this staff. Okay, so it's going through and showing you what each key is on the keyboard according to the line or space that it sits on for that note on the staff. Alright, now that's the staff. Let's get into the clefs. Okay, we have a clef here. Well, there's 2 clefs. The clefs assign individual notes to certain lines or spaces. So depending on what clef you're in, that's going to determine your note names. So yes, each note has its own name. And it's not like a full-on name, it's just a letter. Okay, so let's look at the 2 clefs that we will be dealing with. 2 clefs that are normally used are going to be the treble clef and the bass clef. Now, I'm pretty sure you've seen these words before. If you've used a radio and you wanted to turn up the bass, right, to get that low, deep sound. Or if you wanted to turn up the treble to hear the voices or the melody of the songs, that would be your treble clef. Okay, so these are the two basic clefs. So the first clef we're going to start with is the treble clef. The treble clef is also called the G clef. It's called the G clef because the second line note is the G. And according to treble clef, you must start this symbol, if you're going to draw it, starting on the second line. So wherever your treble clef is, that determines, or if you see a treble clef, that determines that this second line of our 5-line staff will always be the note G. Okay? And just to let you know, there is no H in music. The music alphabet is only A through G. So once you get to G, the alphabet, the music alphabet, that is, starts over. So the next note would be an A. And A happens to be in the space note. Okay, so here's the little note here. Down here it says the note on the space above G is A. Remember, there is not an H note. So once again, the music alphabet is only A through G. And then the next note would be B on the third line. And then the process continues. Okay, so if you know your first line note or your second line note, which is G, according to treble clef, you can figure out what the rest of the notes are in treble clef by looking at if it's on a line or a space. Okay, so that is our staff and our clefs. If you have any questions, please let me know. We will be getting into ledger lines next week once we start the grand staff. I hope this has been helpful. And once again, please use this website at your own pace until you get the concepts down.